Okay, so you guys saw this and saw that I had that stand and the bandsaw put on it. Well, we did something a little sneaky here. We set up the bandsaw here, and it's got a bolt here that you can screw down and it'll be tight. And then when you're not using it, you can take the bolt out and you can slide this back there, put the bolt back in to hold it in place, and there's the bandsaw out of the way, and I've got all this room now where the bandsaw was sitting. So now I've got more space. The bandsaw is tuned up. We greased it up and cleaned it up and leveled it. It used to have play in here. Now there's no play in there. As you can see, there's no play that way. There's no play that way. I've got a magnet here with the Allen wrench to lock it down here. We used these weird kind of, you tap it in and it's got a screw hole in the middle. I don't know what they're called, but we used them on here. And on here, we used T-nuts, which are those, here, let me see, which are these things here that you bang into the wood, and then like that, and then you can screw it down and it'll screw down tight. Here's the other things that we used, were these things here. Like I said, I don't know what they're called, but you screw them into the wood and use an Allen key. And it's got an Allen key here too for the top. And here's the bench that's finished and ready to be delivered. And I've got the chairs sitting in here in the out of the weather. So they're ready to be delivered. I've got my tabletop cleaned off. Look at that. Isn't that nice? This side still has a little stuff on it, but this is a guy on Facebook Messenger, one of the groups he made one, and my rockler, you can see it does this, and the plate was never level and it rocked, so I couldn't ever get, so I made this, and this is sturdy and rock solid. And this little box here, the sawdust goes right back into it. And if you open it up, you can see all the sawdust in there. So if you need to make some wood putty, that's the place to go right there, because you can make some really good wood putty out of that. And this is the really old table that I've fixed. I'm going to put the feet on it. These are the feet. I'm going to put the feet on it tomorrow. And she wants a shiny finish, but I'm going to have to go buy some polyurethane to get it really shiny. But I'm going to show her this little video and see if she really wants it to be done anymore. And that's what I've been doing, and me and Robert have been doing that today. So this is really nice. It sits back out of the way. It's no longer in this big space here, you know, because you couldn't walk through here. So that's Scamp, my boy. Scamp. There he is. There he is. So there we go. And as you can see, it's all nice and clean in there now. We cleaned it out and got it tuned up, and you can turn the what's this thing called? The table. You can unscrew it and turn it and lock it back down again to get angle cuts and whatnot. But I just wanted to show you all this little feature. And all we did was we mounted it to a piece of wood, locked it in here. Got this here, and this just sits in a hole. And then you can bring it out like that to use. Now you can't run a lot of long boards through it or anything, but I don't use this for sawing log, you know, making veneer or anything. But there it is. And then you take this, go right to the edge there, and you can lock it down so it doesn't move at all. So that's a neat little thing. Well, I got those at Rural King for $14. All those screwdrivers. And like I said, all you do is pull this bolt up, slide it right around, and there's a hole right there that you just drop that into it, and it's good and out of the way. And I take the cord, put it back here out of the way. So now I've got all this table surface to work with, and it's time to go home. This is going to be a table for, that's actually the sled for my new table saw. It's not a new table saw, but it's a Makita table saw, which is right under there. And it's going to be dedicated to dado blades, and so making joints. So I'm going to take that stand that the bandsaw was on and just put a table top on it so I can set that over there. And this is where I keep my wood scraps that I burn. And I've got all these from the bench, and I'm going to figure out how to use those somehow. Don't quite know what I'm going to do with those yet. And this is the router stand that I made, router table. And this is where I keep scraps. I've got two big old drawers that we made a cabinet out of, and the drawers weren't right. So we had, I think, 4 drawers. So I'm using them to keep wood in. And of course the miter saw station. And there's the planer station and the table saw station. And I've got tons of sawdust under there. And I've got a barrel there to catch the sawdust. And I've got all this house wrap around to keep the wind out of here. And it does a really good job. Let's see, what else? Oh, this is the other miter saw station. And this is the Harbor Freight router table that I got. I got it before I got the other one. And there's my grinder back there, and the drill press and all my drill bits. And then that's just assorted canned stuff, spray paints and stains and all that stuff. And this is where I keep my lumber, part of it anyway, right here. These are the scrap pieces. I've got an area right here that I just keep stacked lumber for when I need to use it. And then I have this area, which was a hay feeder for the cows or horses or whatnot. And I just put, you know, the sticks in there. And then back here, I've got some redwood, I've got some pine, I've got some boards, got all kinds of little things. And here's some rocks. I don't know why I've got rocks, but I've got rocks for someone. And if I want to make shelves, I can make shelves anywhere I want to. And there's the other belt sander that I use for metal. And I've got a big, huge tarp put up on the end here, and another one on the end here to keep the wind out. And back there, there are tires, but those are my brother-in-law's. But I have stacks of wood back there. That particle board stuff, I've got some of that back there. I don't really use it that much, but I got it out of a dumpster. And then here's storage of my little toys, and there's the train here, and the rotor grader, and that's it. That is a tour of, well, we go in here. I'll just show you in here. There's inside of the shop there. I've got all kinds of paints and tools and little knickknacks. Knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. And then I'll show you this out here. We built that to store wood, and it's got wood in it on this side. It's got wood here, and here it's got projects. And of course it's got house wrap around it because we didn't want to use up all our wood making it solid. But I guess I could use that chipboard stuff and make walls around it. But I've got bricks, I've got scraps, I've gotten more scraps, and then I've got these, which are great. This is what I made the table, the bench and the Adirondack chairs out of this, and I've got plenty of it. So if you're in the Knoxville area and you want some wood, as you can see, there's 2x4s, there's a couple of pallets, but there's a whole bunch of this redwood. Here's 4x4s, and I got stacks of it back there. And there you go. And then I can come out and look at my pond. It was frozen over this morning. It's thawed out today. It's not a great pond, but it's a nice little pond. And then I've got my mowers under here, my more lumber storage. This collapsed the day that my father died, and it just collapsed from the snow. So we brought it over here and put it up. Yeah, you know, it's not perfect or anything, but this is some more popular. Look at the grain in this. See the purples in there? And there's some big pieces in here too. Like this piece. Gosh, it must be 14 inches wide. About 8 or 9 feet long. So there we go. And of course I've got trash cans. I don't like trash laying around too much. Oh, this is cool. We don't know where it came from, but it's been here a long time. It's got a couple of rungs out of the holes, and I don't know how to put them back in. But that's okay. Because then I got my trash here. I've got wood there and plastic there. This usually gets burned, and I burn it in this, which is a dryer tumbler thing, and a 55-gallon barrel. So it's double insulated, and it burns good. All right, that's it. There's a couple of projects I built for Mom, a stool and a thing and a bird feeder. All right, that's a tour of my shop. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Have a good one. I am Bob's Crosses at AOL.com.